This Albion Online video is all about the best way to level tracking, and we're going to do this in one take, okay? So, the best way to level tracking. What is tracking? Let's talk about what tracking is. When you open your Destiny board, you go down here, you have the trainee tracker, which allows you to use the Journeyman's Tracking Toolkit, and then you have the season tracker, and you'll see that mine's level 31, and then down here we have rare quarry, you know, werewolf, spirit bear, Sylvian, etc., right? These are the special animals. You can hunt them for different treasure rewards and materials. So, the best town to track out of, in my opinion, is going to be Caerleon. Now, I want to talk about save zone tracking just super quick. Yes, you can track in like tier 4, tier 5 zones. That's totally fine. Possibly even tier 3 zones. I've never tried. But the amount of fame that you get tracking in these is very low. You get double the amount in a red zone or a black zone. Now, you may be wondering, well, what about a black zone over a red zone? It's the same. Red zone is the same as black zone, is the same as Avalonian Road, is the same as basically any full loot zone, okay? And before you're thinking, what about Brazilian? Can you just go outside of Brazilian? That's a red zone. No, there are no, like these little red zones outside of Brazilian. You may think, hey, whatever comes out to these, it'd be a really good idea to go to them. There's no tracks, so don't even waste your time. The best town is Caerleon for a few reasons. Number one, it gives you instant access to a red zone, which is very important, and I'm going to do this all in one take. We're just going to do one take video today. All right, no edits, no crazy pop-ups on the screen, but there's a few builds I want to talk about just real quick, okay? So build number one is this, and this is a curse staff build. A lot of my old fans use a curse staff build, and I'm just going to talk about it briefly. So we're going to start with a curse staff, and anything over 1250 item power, I went with 1350 plus item power, and I have maximum spec here, so I'm going with 4.3, but I could go with a 4.2, it would be just as good. Now, I'm going to go over the skills in just a sec. I'm going to go to the market and buy food real quick. Now, this is not the cheapest build. This is the fastest build. This is not the cheapest build, okay? And real quick, we're just going to get a... not a pork pie, roast pork. I can't spell. I'm just fat fingering everything. Look, I'm hopped up on pre-workout. The place I went to closed early, so I didn't get my full workout in, and I'm still on that pre-workout. Oh man, it's like 8 cups of coffee worth. Okay, but anyway, let's start with the build. We have the Stalker Hood. Now, why a Stalker Hood? Now, the majority of fights against tracked targets are going to be less than 50% HP, and the Stalker Hood not only buffs your damage, but it also reduces a huge amount of damage resistance off the mob. All right, and that's why we use this. This thing increases our damage massively, more than any other helmet in the game. For cape, we use a Keeper Cape because it increases our damage more than anything else. We use a cloth armor because it increases our damage more than anything else, and specifically we use the Cleric Robe because there are a few enemies with beam attacks that are unavoidable, and this allows you to tank or face tank the beam attack, alright? Then we have Cultist Sandals. This also reduces damage resistance on the enemy. You'll notice that I'm using a flat 4 helmet and a flat 4 boot because they're the cheapest option, and raising the spec on these makes me a more juicy target in the red zones. But also, like from flat 4 to like 4.3 is not much of a difference. I'll even show you, okay? A flat 4 Stalker Hood reduces the resistance by 96. All right, so let's go to tier 7. This reduces it by 106, so 10. Whoop-de-freaking-do. And the cost is so much more. 60,000 versus 2,000. All right, that is a 30 times difference. And then for the boots, again, Cultist Sandals can be expensive sometimes, but right now they're a little bit cheap. I'm not really sure why. But you'll notice just a flat 4 Cultist Sandal reduces it by 42. And then a tier 7 Cultist Sandal reduces it by 46. So you get 4 more damage resistance taken off, or with both helmet and boots, 14. That's not enough to, like, even notice. Okay, but here's the thing. You're going to be reducing the enemy's armor or resistance to 0 anyway, and it's overkill. So it doesn't even matter if you do upgrade these, because the health bonus is not worth it. The damage resistance is not worth it, because they're going to be at 0 anyway. But also notice the cost, 192k versus 35k. All right, huge price difference. Next up, for potion, you can use whatever potion you want. If you want to use a Gigantify potion in PvP, that's fine. You will get ganked and you will die doing this. You will die. I am telling you right now, you will die to radar hackers. I don't care how good you are. I don't care if you have 10 bajillion. I don't care if you're one. You're gonna die. You're gonna die out here, out there. So my whole kit is 550,000. Okay, and if you count the inventory, you know this thing's worth 30k, and you need to be level 30 to use this. Just use whatever level you can. The tier 3, the tier 4, they're both fine. You're going, and again, it's a 600k build, and you might make your money back. You might break even depending on how often you die. If you have premium, you actually make an okay amount of money. I was making about 1 million silver per hour doing this with premium active, but without premium active, I can barely break 500k an hour. But why you would want to level this? If you have friends to do group tracking, it's very good. Otherwise, tracking is not a good solo activity. I just want to point that out for you. Like, tracking is not a good solo activity. I'm going to say that again, for solo players. But you still need to level it up if you want to do it for groups. You have to level this up for groups. Anyway, before we begin, I want to show you one other build. This is a cheaper, more budget build. And we're going to go to my death tab, because, yeah, I did die. Died to a radar hacker. But anyway, this is a cheaper variant of the build. You don't have to use Morgana Cape. It really doesn't help you all that much. But this is a 100k build, okay? You're going to use a 5-1 dagger. And you're going to swap between Deadly Swipe and Sunder Armor, depending on if you're fighting a single target enemy or a multi-target enemy. You're going to use Throwing Blades, the first passive. You're going to be using Hunter Jacket with the first passive. You're going to be using Assassin Hood with the first passive. And any leather shoes with Refreshing Sprint, or you can just use Swift Cut. I was using Swift Cut. And a torch. And all you do is you just activate your armor ability. And you activate your dagger's E ability, and you auto-attack. And it's going to heal you, and it's going to deal lots of damage. And then you reset the cooldowns with your helmet, and you do it again, and that'll scare the enemy off or kill it, okay? But you can see here, Radar Hacker got me. He royal marched me off my screen, and there was no running away from that. Anyway, so next step, once you have your gear set out. Now, again, this is a faster set. Curse Staff with Crypt Candle. Crypt Candle gives you the most damage in the game. Don't use a Moisac. It's too mana intensive. Moisac does not give you as much damage. You don't need defense for this. You're going to kill the enemy too fast anyway. And with a Roast Pork, you're going to lifesteal most of your stuff back. It's fine. All right, and this is not too mana intensive. So let's talk about Caerleon. You technically have 8 exits. You have Birkenfell, Craigmore, Wire Forest. You get the idea. Just pick one. Just pick a random one. And if there are gankers on the map, go back into town. Even if there's one, I'm telling you, just one ganker, probably a radar hacker. He's just going to run at you from off screen and kill you. All right, and right now there are 0 people in Birkenfell, so we're good. So we can ride out, and you'll notice that there's an AFK scout here. Just chilling. This is possibly not an AFK scout, but it really depends. You're going to come across lots of AFK scouts. They're going to see your kit, and they're like, I don't know what this is. He's probably doing something weird, but it's fine. Just keep an eye down here. It looks like there's a bandit event going on right now. So generally, bandit event's a good time to do this. I didn't know bandit event was going on, but yeah, bandit event's happening right now, so not a lot of gankers are going to be patrolling around. So you're just going to ride out randomly, push the U button, not Y, not I, U, and that's going to activate your tracking kit. You can also click Use. No tracks found. You'll see no tracks found in this big-ass circle, so I need to go up here and use it, or go to a different zone and use it. So because there's no gankers on this map, I think I'm just going to go a bit north and do another little scouty scout. Now, another important thing, too. You really, really want to use your learning points for this, because it's going to give you 5x the experience points, and you'll notice that it's only 2 learning points to go from level 31 to 32, and for this one, it's only 1 learning point to go from level 21 to 22. So this activity is very, very cheap with learning points, okay? Just keep that in mind. This is one of the cheapest things to level up with learning points, so I highly recommend that you use those learning points. All right, and so we're going to go right up here now, and, remember, the circle was like this big, so we want to make sure that we cast a new circle that will envelop the top part of the map here. And I got real close to these mobs, but hey, they won't patrol into me, right? Right, guys? Okay. We got a few targets. We have a wolf and a runestone golem. Now, this is a tier 7, and this one is a tier 5. So I'm going to go with the tier 7. Now, you probably won't get runestone golems until you unlock the tier 6 tracking toolkit. But you want to just go with whatever is the highest tier. I prefer going after, honestly, I prefer the quarries because they just give you more money. And you can get really lucky and get really good drops of the quarry. But what we're gonna do now, if you've never tracked it before, I'm gonna talk you through it. You're gonna go to the footprints and you're gonna left click them. You're gonna fill up this little bar with this weird, wild sounds, little sounds of the jungle. I don't know what it is. And it's gonna put a circle on your map, and in this circle, it can either contain tracks or the monster we need to fight. Now, I'm gonna tell you right now, this is a very griefable activity. And what I mean by that is that radar hackers who aren't PvP flagged will steal your freaking kills. They will attack and kill the monster because it lights up like a Christmas tree on their radar. They will go to it and they will kill it before you even know where it's at, before you even find it, and they will get your loot. It sucks and it happens, but you just deal with it. Also, people will see that you're doing this, and, oh, hidden treasure. Let's get this real quick. Hidden treasure is always good. Now, one cool thing about doing this activity is you're all over the map, so you get lots of neat mob camps and boss slayers. You're gonna find a lot of boss slayers and hidden treasures doing this, by the way. But we're gonna just ride around this circle here until we find either the tracks or the monster we need to fight. Okay. And so there we go. There's the monster. And before we fight, we're gonna eat our food and we're going to dismount nearly on top of it. And here's the thing. We're gonna use Cursed Tar into Death Curse, and then we're gonna hit it with Armor Piercer and Boots. When it's at half HP, we just cast our helmet ability. That's pretty much it. So we're going to eat the food. There we go. And we're ready to rumble. So we're going to put a puddle under it. We're going to auto attack. We're going to just avoid its attacks. That's all we're doing. We're just avoiding attacks. Use our boot ability. Again, I'm dodging all of its little area of effects. And the great thing about being Curse Staff is that we can curse the enemy and run away from its attacks. So you can see that it's dotted up. It's standing in the puddle. I can just run from it, right? Now, you'll notice there's a player in my bottom. What's he got? He's got a crossbow. He might step outside of my nameplate range and then flag up on me. He also might try to... Sometimes people will just help you fight. Now, you'll notice the enemy is now less than 50% HP. So we're going to hit it with everything. We got the laser, the helmet, the boots, and look at this. Boom. Oh, well, it encased itself in rock. So that sucks. That happens. But, you know, we'll get him... The helmet cooldown is very, very short. So you'll notice that the helmet cooldown links up with our E ability. So there we go. So we're going to hit him with the helmet. And now he's, look at that, massive damage. And you may be, okay, he's going to run away now. We almost killed him on our first try. And the higher spec you are, the less that they run away. But I just want to show you something. My spec for the golem is 0. It's 0, okay? When you get at higher spec, they stop running away. All right, and he ran down here. And you'll notice that I'm nearly full HP. Even if I face tanked it, I would still be mostly full HP thanks to the roast pork. Roast pork is very, very valuable when it comes to using this build because every time your curse explodes for over 2,000 damage. Okay, this guy's going into a mist. Every time, like right now, okay, we're at 0. We're still at 0. Here we go. We're going to curse him up. I got interrupted. I missed my curse. That's fine. We're just going to use our helmet, boots, and laser anyway, and he's dead. We didn't even need to curse him. So 31,000, it kind of sucks, but this would be about 45,000 if I had premium, which, you know, you can do this pretty quick, but let's go ahead and scout again, do another hunt. All right, no tracks found. We know that there was a werewolf up here we could run to and go do that, or we can go into a different zone and look for more valuable tracks. I think I'm going to do that. There's still 0 gankers on this map, so it's still a good map to track. But once you've ran around a map for a while, you'll empty it out of boss slayers, because boss slayers are better. They're honestly better, but you're gonna find them as you do this. And like tracking makes you run all over the whole damn map. You can even get some gathering tools and get some enchanted materials if you want. I highly recommend that you do this during off hours. You'll notice I'm playing at 4 in the morning UTC on a Monday morning. That means it's a school day. Well, it's technically summertime, but it's a wagey work week. All the people that work jobs, the important people in life, they all have to go to work in the morning, and so they're not going to be on playing this late. There's no gankers here, so we're going to go to a different map and see if we can find any tracks. There are none, so because there are none... Well, I know there's a werewolf up there, so I'm just going to go do that. So I'm going to run up here, and man, the pre-workout, if you don't eat food with it, oh man, it just burns the stomach. It hurts. Ugh, the place I go to closed an hour early because it's, well, a Sunday night, and I forgot it was Sunday. I literally didn't know what day it was, guys. But anyway, we're gonna find those werewolf tracks, and sometimes new tracks will spawn. So let's see what we got here. Still 0 gankers. Okay, we got a quarry. That's a tier 5. I'll take it. It's not the best. Now, one bad thing about certain maps is that you can't run through everything. Like, I can't run through this group area. Right, that kind of sucks. It is what it is. And we're just going to look around for other players. Now, faction flag players, they can't gank you, but they can steal your, bounty. And you may be wondering, why aren't you faction flagged, Swole Benji? You should be faction flagged. Well, I'm not going to faction flag for Caerleon, but if you are a Caerleon player, then feel free to do it, okay? Now, one thing you need to be very careful with. These little PvP areas, people will walk into them, they will get flagged up, and then they will attack you while you're doing your hunt. So, also, there's a freaking treasure chest in there, and I kind of want to try to get it. It's risky, though. Let's see if I can maybe weasel my way in there, right? Nah, that's going to dismount me. Okay. Anyway, if I had a beefier mount and maybe some invis, I could sneak in there and get that chest. And that chest might be 100k, might be a couple million. But, yeah. Also, you can fame farm, like, oh, look at Enchanted Mob. Just kill it. Like, we have the full kit to kill this thing in, like one rotation. There we go. That's 7,000 fame. No satchel and no premium. But if we had satchel and premium, that would be at least 12,000, 13,000 fame. Okay, so we're going to do another hunt, and the quarry ones are my favorite. I prefer the quarry ones. They're a little more tricky to fight, but, you know, this build is pretty good. All right, so here we go. We're just going to puddle into E, and this guy has a beam attack, so we're going to counter the beam. We're going to use our own beam. We're going to not stand in that. There we go. When he beams, we're going to push R. We're going to avoid... We put it over our mount, which is bad. We shouldn't have done that, so that's not good. Also, I'm going to face tank that. Nothing I can do. It's fine, though. Okay, there's the beam. I'm going to use my cleric robe. That's why we brought it. Now, you'll notice he's below 50% HP, which is good. All right, let's get another puddle over this way. There we go. Curse him up. And this time we can hit him with maybe full combo. Helmet into W. And we have our cape. If the cape procs and then you cast your death curse, oh, that's huge damage. You'll notice that my mana's a little bit low, and I want to tell you how to deal with that if you don't have the specialization or the damage. And that is, you just toggle on energy. That's all you do. Every auto attack gives you energy. That's all you need to do. And if you want a Limhurst cape, you could also do that. It's fine, right? You don't even need a cape, honestly. This thing is like 100k. I can craft these for like 50k. 50, like it's just the raw card. That's 45k. And then this thing is like, you can get these for like 300. I'm not joking. You can literally get a keeper crust for like 300 on buy order. So, again, pretty cheap. Same with just a flat 4 cape. Flat 4 cape is, you know, like 1,000. You can craft them for like 700. Now, this time, it was not the enemy to fight. It was the track. So, you have to use the track. You'll notice the circle around it. This is not a new track. And then the hunt continues. Now, they changed it. You know, used to, this hunting thing would drag you across several zones. But now it keeps you in the same zone. It does not force you to change zones ever. So picking a zone with lots of water and like a big static area means less travel time in between hunts. But it also means less tracks, and you will empty a zone out of the tracks. So the way I like to like search for the circle here is I just pretend that I am like a marker, and you know, as I mark off the circle, I don't try to backtrack. I don't know. That's a stupid explanation, but like, if I enter the circle from the top right here, then I will try to go along the circle in like a path so that I'm like coloring the circle in, if that makes sense, okay? Now, because I'm doing this literally right outside of Caerleon, most likely I'm not going to run into any, what is it? Boss layers, okay? Oh, there's a ganker on the map. We have to be careful. I would advise you right now, as soon as you see that thing light up, to just not bother. This could be a player that has stalked us and they are following us off screen. It could be a radar hacker. I'm going to take my chances because this thing is nearly dead. This thing is pretty close to death. I'm a hard target to fight, okay? There we go. 2,500 damage. And there's the beam. We're going to counter that with our cleric robe. And he's pretty much going to melt now. We just have to keep our eyes on the corners of the screen. And there we go, 98,000. This is actually a better than normal drop. And because there's a ganker, we're going to leave. Now, I could R home, but I got a shield literally right here. I can just run into that, and we're saying, okay, the ganker left. We're back to 0, guys. Now we can continue the hunt. All right, let's see what we got here. No tracks. All right, so right now I've made 182,000, and this is in about 20 minutes worth of time, maybe a little bit less. Okay, you can see my food buff actually in 9 minutes. I have made, well, remember, this is like 30K, so I've made 150K in 9 minutes, okay? And with premium, you technically make a little bit more, all right? But you'll also notice, I think I was level 30 when we started, and now I'm level 31, and here's my learning points. I don't know what my learning points were at, but it is a process. Now, I will say also, if you have friends, do group tracking, because group tracking, the rewards are way, way better, and the fame is way better. However, the monsters are very difficult. You're going to need a tank, you're going to need a healer, you're going to need a couple DPS, very good melty DPS at least, like anything you would use for hardcore expeditions, I guess. I'm not a hardcore expedition guy, so I don't really know those builds, but they're ideal for this kind of... Oh, 3 gankers. Nope. Nope. Turn around and leave. We are not staying here. And you may be thinking, Swole Benji, you're so timid. You're such a baby. You're such a baby. Listen. Red zone gankers know what you're doing. They know you're loaded with loot. They know exactly... They can see on their radar your tracking target. They can see it. Now, not across the whole zone, but they can see a pretty big circle around them, okay? Bigger than I can, all right? Not that big. That would be a little too broken. The old radar hacks did, but not the new ones. But yeah, guys. I think we're good. You know, you get the idea. I don't want to make the video too long, but yeah, it's literally the best build to track. And the reason why is that I'm going to go ahead and just do a little demo for you. The reason why is you can make a big circle on the ground that deals lots of damage while you avoid the enemy attacks. You have a Death Curse spell that you put it on the enemy, and then you can continue to move while it does its thing. You are allowed to move while dealing damage. That is insane. Also, this build in particular has a way to reduce damage resistance, which you also do with your helmet and your boots, which means they will have no defense whatsoever. You reduce their defense to 0, meaning you are dealing the maximum possible amount of damage with your Cursed Tar, your beam. You know, when your beam hits, it factors that in too. And, you know, you have other things for damage, the Keeper Cape, the Crypt Candle. There is no higher damage build than this. I have tried them all, while also being hyper defensive. There just isn't a single one. But, like, let's say that, you know, this area was full of gankers, this area was, and this area was, right? Well, guess what? We have so many different options that we can go out in from Caerleon. And another great thing about doing this in Caerleon is that the ingredients simply sell for more. They just do. Like, people are forced to use these to craft the shapeshifter staffs so that they can get the deal from the black market. And so people they pay more here in Caerleon than anywhere else. But also, your random loot that you get, like this tier 5 Guardian armor, well, you can see the average market value is 7.69, and then when I sell it, I don't know about the specific item, but it's going to sell for 11,000. So I'm getting like 25% above average money for this. And again, that's the black market. Let's look at this one. Oh, we got an expert bag. Bags are generally pretty normal in Caerleon. 2% above average. Whoop-de-doo, right? Runes also, like, you can see, like, a rune is normally 9 to 10 or 7 to 8. It's 20 here in Caerleon because people need this to enchant gear to sell to the black market. Rare animal remains, 9% above average. Look at that. We got the runestone teeth. Because I've been flooding the market lately. These are below average a little bit. I don't have to sell them at 12. I can sell them at $13.99. $13.994. Look at that. 5% above average. That's fine, right? And while I didn't get much else, you know, let's just quick sell the rest and then not sell our tracking kit. And there we go. I lose 2,000 silver. That's fine. You know, that's time saved. And we get the raw silver bags. It's pretty good, right? If you're bored, it's something to do, but do know there is a risk. You will die. Look, I literally died doing it the other day to a radar hacker. Here, again, I was doing it with Dagger, all right? He ran at me with the royal boots from off my screen. And he's a crowd control build, so there's no escape. I tried to fight him off, but I was already wounded from doing the damn hunt. So, you know, he's fighting me at half HP, and he had an IP advantage, and he had a counter build. And I'm not a PvPer with one-handed dagger anyway. Like, he just goes invis. I use E, he goes invis. He freezes me, he walks away. There's no beating that with one-handed dagger anyway. But yeah, guys, that's it. That's tracking for you. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. It's 1,000,000 silver per hour with premium. If you do the quarries, at least. And without premium, you're lucky to get 500k an hour. Right? I got a little lucky in today's video, but it is what it is. You're better off just gathering. Alright. Anyway, if you want to tracking, you want to level tracking, this is how you do it. Channel members have an alternate way that's slightly more efficient to level tracking. But I'll keep channel members, you know, they can find that video if they want to. It's not the most valuable channel members video, I'll tell you that. But it's I think I prefer this method, honestly, because as soon as there's gankers, I just leave. But you're gonna get like, I didn't show it in the video, but a lot of people are gonna steal your hunts. A lot of people that are in like PvP sets, that are in very high tier PvP sets. Is there anyone out here with good stuff? They will just see, oh look, he's doing a hunt. I can blow this thing up with my 8.3 set. Boom, and then they take your loot, and it sucks, and it is what it is. But that's all I got. Leave a comment, leave a like. Views are way down. Albion numbers are way down. This Crucible crap didn't do anything. I got spawned in out of nowhere. This Crucible crap did nothing for the game. All of those streamers went back to their home games. None of them stayed. None of them were based. They were all very left-winged. And what is this guy attacking me? Anyway, the point that I'm getting at is the game's dying. I'm trying out other games. I gotta do something. There's like an age verification thing coming this August. It's gonna pretty much kill every gaming channel that's my size. I'm just a little small-time gaming channel. I don't do sponsors. I'm not part of a network. I'm not part of a talent agency. I'm just me. I'm just an independent guy. It's just me. No editors, no team, no corporation, no LLC. And it could be the end. I'm just worried. I'm just very worried. All right. And with that said, I don't know what to do. So leave a comment. Just your comments are comforting. Like if I check my comments right now, I haven't gotten a comment. Let's see. Last comment I got was 9 hours ago. And it said, no way, I'm hoping for tier 6 materials. Yay. That is Gator's Life 22. All right. I don't know, guys. Like, it's not just me, too. It's like all of the Albion channel's views are way down. All of them. They all know that the end is coming. All right. I don't know what else to play. Please don't recommend me old-ass games. I want to play new games. I want new stuff, please. And it is what it is. Click the video on the right side of your screen. If you do, you won't go out to exercise and the place closes early.